at the National Gallery of Victoria, and we are here in the Fred Williams exhibition room. Now, we are joined by Humphrey Clegg. He is the coordinating curator of the exhibition. Now, mate, look, that picture just behind you there, pretty spectacular. It's actually of the Illawarra, which is good down from our way.
It is. Fred Williams returned from Europe and decided he wanted to paint a gum tree. And he went to stay with his friends John and Joan Stevens, and in Collowvale. That's
Collowvale, yeah, that's it.
And he actually saw the way Cezanne sees the landscape in the landscape over there. So these patches of colour, it's very much the way Cezanne laid on his colour, and the way the gum trees float in the rocks are all very a very new way of looking at the landscape.
So was this something that he did earlier in his career or later in his career?
Very early. He was only 30, I think, when he got back. So yeah, he just spent 7 years in the UK.
And can you give us a little bit of a background as to where he kind of came from and how his art kind of changed Australia? Because he started to do something that people had said had been done before, but did it in a new way.
Exactly. He was born in Melbourne in 1928. He sort of was of that generation that missed the war just by a couple of years, but he went to the National Gallery School, so he studied here. And then he went to the UK, and then he came back, and he felt that there was something new to be found in the landscape. And he looked at what often people described as, well, Victorian, very boring Victorian sort of parts of the world. Eugene von Gerard had been up to the Natai River before, and he brought new life to them, which is pretty incredible.
Well, look, you did mention that the way that he paints trees is kind of a shorthand style. Can we see that in this particular picture?
Not so much in these new ones, although it does start coming through. The way that the trees do they don't have a sort of a base in the landscape, and the way he sort of just starts indicating the forms, but without indicating the actual detail of the tree. So, yeah.
And Humphrey, you did say that there was one in particular that everyone should check out. Now, can we go and have a look at that one? Is that okay?
Oh, we can, yeah, for sure.
Now, we have moved around in the gallery a little bit, Ricardo, and we've come to what Humphrey has said is possibly one of the must-see works by Fred Williams in the gallery.
Think so.
Yeah, you think so? Now, tell us a bit about it. What's it called?
This is Green Cloud Without. I like it because it's so unusual and not the very typical classic Williams that people are used to seeing. Essentially, he's doing a similar thing to what he does in his Yu Yang series, which is where he is developing that shorthand style. But nighttime's fallen, and the way the landscape changes and the way our perception of the country changes is really important in this picture. And he sort of, as things disappear and reappear in the landscape, depending on the light, is really fascinating to Williams, and I think really interesting to me too.
It's actually amazing to look at because as you look at it, you kind of capture lots of different little pieces, like the little owls down in the bottom corner. They're gorgeous.
Yeah, they are. And what I also love is the sort of green sky. And this cloud becomes a bit of a character. You'll notice in the next picture along as well, the cloud's there too. But that green sky, I like to think of it as the city lights on the other side of the ridge, because he lived in the bottom of a valley and looked up onto the mountainside before him. But that green cloud, that sort of evening, strange, eerie time, I think it's a really beautiful time of the day.
Now, Humphrey, just in case people want to come down and check out the exhibition, I mean, there is so much to see just in this particular exhibition, not to mention the entire gallery.
There's heaps. There's 4 galleries like this. We've got over 100 works by Fred Williams. A lot of them are this size. And that's really important as well. Like, you actually have to be in front of the picture, and the scale is really important. It has to be bigger than you. It has to, overwhelm you. But also we've got our permanent collection, and we've got the rest of the Pilbara series. We've got the Pilbara series in the next room in Gallery 14, which is free to visit. There's hundreds of artworks in this building.
And how long is this exhibition actually going to go for? When does it all wrap up?
It's running until August.
Beautiful,
But
lots of time.
We've just extended it. So, yeah.
Now, Humphrey, look, this is probably going to be a tough question, but I do like asking you tough questions. Obviously, this exhibition is incredible, but is there one artist for you that you just go, you know what, that's the artist, that's the guy, or the girl, for that matter?
I work with a lot of different artists, and usually when I work on an artist, they become my favourite for a little period of time. But of all time, Fred is sort of, I think he's up there with the best. Who else? There's a whole list. Looking at Cezanne, Manet is pretty amazing. They're international artists, but the list goes on. Tom Roberts is pretty amazing.
Okay, one to check out.
I've got my own comic book strip. Can I just put that to you and see how that goes against some of the greats?
We can be pretty harsh, but yeah, I'll be kind.
Well, Humphrey, thank you so much for talking to us, and of course the exhibition going right through until August, and it's here at the NGV in Victoria. Everyone should come down and check it out because it is amazing. Thanks again, Humphrey.
My pleasure.